Hi there. My name is Natalie Silvernagel, and I am a representative from Team Aspen sent here today to talk to you about recycled plastic and how it can be applied in a sustainable landscape. I will start off by explaining a bit of history behind plastic and why there is so darn much of it. Plastic is short for thermoplastic and has become a lazy term for polymeric materials that can be shaped and reshaped using heat. The need to preserve scarce natural resources during World War II made the production of synthetic polymers a priority, and these polymers are now commonly recognized as plastics. During the surge in plastic production, people considered plastic as magnificent and dominant because of its durability. But when the perception of plastic shifted, it was seen as terrible because it took decades for it to degrade. So, the reasons people originally raved about these synthetic polymers were the same reasons they came to despise them. According to our research, synthetic polymers resist damage by water, air, grease, cleaning solvents, and much more, so they are nearly indestructible. This is why recycling plastic is crucial in moving towards a more environmentally friendly future. Since plastic can last virtually forever, it has become a major environmental problem. We can use this long lifespan to our advantage by recycling it rather than continually creating new plastic. Recycling plastic helps to create eco-friendly products and prevents us from dumping tons of waste into our landfills. New plastics such as polyethylene terephthalate, PET, and high-density polyethylene, HDPE, consume 4 to 8 times more energy to create from scratch rather than the more eco-friendly option of using recycled plastics. Even materials such as wood, metal, concrete, and stone are commonly used in landscapes and all have problems that can be solved with a recycled plastic alternative. Wood needs yearly maintenance to keep up appearances and can quickly rot and need replacing if not looked after. Metal rusts and can be expensive. Stone is heavy to move, and concrete has a huge carbon footprint. But luckily, recycled plastic can be used in replacement of all these materials and will rectify these issues efficiently. This graph shows the total plastic produced and where it goes. The dark blue line on top represents the small amount of plastic that is actually recycled, and the light gray, larger bottom chunk is showing the sad amount of plastic that ends up in the landfill. Did you know that in 2017, only 3 million tons, or 8.4% of plastic waste was recycled? Which is a frustrating fact as less petroleum is used in production of recycled material compared to production of new plastics. Plastic is so plentiful, we need to use its waste however we can. 26 million tons went into landfills and waterways last year that could have been benches, walkways, or any number of other products. All that is stopping us at this point is a lack of imagination. This graph was retrieved from TrueCast Plastics and Sustainability. It is representing the environmental costs associated with materials that we use in consumer products and packaging. The small red block on the top shows the minimal footprint recycled plastic has when compared to alternative products. Because plastic is so durable, it can be recycled into many things and can mimic other materials such as wood and metal and stone. As shown by this graph, it is more environmentally friendly to use recycled plastics in replacement of alternative materials. Products made out of plastic are lightweight, durable, and are proven to be a more environmentally friendly product when recycled properly. One main recycled plastic product used in sustainable landscapes is plastic lumber. Plastic lumber is made primarily from high-density polyethylene, recovered from post-consumer plastic made in the form of used milk containers. Plastic lumber provides an excellent alternative to wood for many applications as it does not rot, splinter, peel, or suffer insect damage. While it does cost about 3 times more than wood up front, its weathering resistance and low maintenance costs means it has a lower overall lifetime cost. Recycled plastic lumber is smart lumber. In 2000, only 1 out of 13 million tons of plastic that were suitable for plastic lumber had a beneficial use. Recycled plastic lumbers are being used today in making a wide variety of landscape products for decking, fencing, plastic benches, and picnic tables. If we use more plastic lumber, not only does that lessen the strain on our natural resources, but it means that 3/4 of our plastic waste would have a market. And in addition to that, any unused bits and pieces can be recycled back into production. With an estimated life expectancy of above 50 years, the thermoplastic material results in a $3,300 per square meter life cycle cost of savings when compared to standard building materials like treated timber. Here are a couple more examples of how plastic lumber is used in different landscape applications. The photo shown to the left is a plastic lumber deck and gazebo, and the photo shown to the right is a plastic lumber playset. Notice how closely they mimic real lumber? I bet you wouldn't have known the difference unless I had told you. But the difference is noticed in years to come with the little to no maintenance and durability the product will show. Recycled plastic lumber is a useful, economical, and long-lived material. But along with it being a lot of work to create, some disadvantages are cost. On average, it costs 2 to 3 times that of pine lumber. However, life cycle costs may more than offset this, as well as timber scarcity will also affect wood pricing. Plastic lumber is also considerably heavier than wood, so supports must be designed accordingly. Plastic lumber swells and contracts with temperature changes, and plastic lumber is much more flexible than wood. So, in applications like boardwalks, plastic boards must be spaced closer together than wood to minimize sagging. But flexibility can be turned into an advantage as many suppliers feature images of sweeping curved decks and inventive patterning. Another use for recycled plastic is a concrete alternative. Used wrappers and polyethylene bags are replaced with cement while making concrete. This concrete alternative was shown to keep the same ratio of sand and quarry dust and was found to be stronger with a lower water absorption rates. It was also found that houses built from recycled plastic trash are reportedly stronger than concrete. In addition, it insulates the house twice as well as concrete, thereby cutting down heat bills in half. The estimated lifespan of houses built with this plastic concrete alternative is put at more than 60 years, and after that, they are still recyclable. Here is another example of how this concrete alternative created from plastic can be utilized. This photo is showing a footbridge in Scotland that was made entirely of recycled plastic material. It took 50 tons of plastic to complete this eco-friendly masterpiece. Such a great use for our recycled plastic waste, if you ask me. And the last plastic recycled material I am going to discuss with you is called resin. The process named rotational molding that uses a linear low-density polyethylene, LDPE, makes plastic resin products more durable and elastic than normal plastic materials. It's able to mimic stone and metal while being lightweight to provide alternatives in that regard, and can be cast into any shape needed. Plus, like the plastic lumber, resin can be recycled back into production. Products made with post-consumer recycled resin, PCR, can have black specks or a graying yellowing effect over time, but these defects are solely cosmetic and shouldn't affect the natural landscape. Here is a photograph we found showing the comparison between a metal product and a product made of recycled plastic resin. As you can see, the resin lamppost looks nearly new, and the metal is rusting and needs major maintenance in order to look like new again. This is a perfect example of how plastic products made from resin are much more durable and long-lasting than other materials. Therefore, we shouldn't be using our scarce resources to make new products with metal, wood, or stone. We should be more energy conscious and use recycled plastic as an eco-friendly alternative. One word of caution with these plastic producing companies is that they are reluctant to disclose information. This means only about 20 to 30% of companies disclose information regarding embedded carbon, resource use and waste, energy and water use, and toxicity impacts. And unfortunately, human health impacts are a struggle to identify because companies hide the chemicals used and produced and their quantities behind proprietary. It is really easy for a company or a person to stand up and claim their product is safe, but the integral part is when others test to see if their claims are true or false. And these tests are not being done nearly enough to have sufficient information on this subject. We can't truly know the environmental or human health impacts these products will have unless the creation process is disclosed. But there is hope. LEED, SITES, and the Living Building Challenge are green building systems that offer credits to companies that disclose their process for review. It is saddening because these credits are rarely claimed. But the most effective way to get these companies to change is for the architects and designers that are buying these materials to call and request that they will only purchase from companies who disclose the pertinent information. So, the future of plastic recycling truly starts with you as a consumer being able to ask the big questions. To conclude our presentation, I want to stress how important it is to start utilizing recycled plastics to create sustainable landscapes rather than using other materials that cost more to make and maintain. We have already created mountains of plastics that are sitting in our landfills, and we need to start applying what we have already made rather than just generating more and more waste with new material production. The future of recycled plastic products are now. We want to thank you so much for watching our presentation today about how we can apply recycled plastics into sustainable landscapes. And we hope we have encouraged your eyes to open about recycled plastics and how environmentally friendly they can actually be. Thank you.